Alrighty guys, so today I am going to be showing you guys how to glaze, and I have been thinking and coming up with some plans because I really don't want you guys to miss out on this clay project if you don't want to. Like if you really want to do this project. The kids here go home at about 2, and then I have buses, and then after that I have some time after school. So if you would like to come in and actually make one of these, make a mug one-on-one, you can bring like a parent or whatever. That's totally fine with me. And I'll make sure I don't schedule any other families at the same time so that it's just you in here. But if you'd like to make one of these, you can. If you want me to put a ball of clay in a bag and put it in the office for you, I can. You'll have to tell me like when you're picking it up because you don't want it to dry before you have a chance to take it home. But you are definitely welcome to do that as well, and then just drop it off and then I'll fire it once it's dry. And then you can like paint it at home or glaze it too. So today is the glazing day. And what glaze is, sometimes students call it paint, and it does seem like paint, right, because it adds color. But glaze is actually glass. And glaze is what makes your plates, your mugs, able to be washed and able to be like drank out of. You can put liquids in them and the clay won't absorb it. If you just put hot chocolate or something in this mug right now, the clay would actually absorb that moisture, which you don't want. So this is what it looks like after it's out of the kiln. This is after it's been bisque fired. So it's dry, it's very dry, but it can't really hold liquids yet, and it's not really washable yet because the soap and the water would just kind of absorb into the clay. So what we do in ceramics is we put on glaze. And today, glaze will not look very bright. It's not going to be shiny because it has to go in the kiln, our really hot oven made for clay, right, one more time. So this is a pot that actually my sister made. And you can see she used 2 different kind of glazes. This one is not as shiny of a glaze. The yellow is a very shiny, bright glaze. So this is what we are going to be adding to our projects today. If you choose not to make a bisque or a kiln-fired project like this, if you choose to not come in or not get clay from me, that's totally fine. Your projects can still be painted. This one was a cool technique that I did with black oil pastel. I rubbed the black oil pastel on the texture, and then I just painted with my water paints over top. And that's kind of a fun way to do it too. This is actually our first grade project that we're doing, but I thought it was kind of a cool example because I understand that you guys are at home, you don't have all these supplies that we have here, and you can finish your clay projects with whatever kind of paint you have at home. I've even painted clay with house paint, like just leftover paint. So you guys can use acrylic, tempera, watercolor paint, whatever you have, whatever you can find, will work for clay, any kind of clay actually. So if you guys bought Model Magic or air dry clay, you guys can go ahead and paint those this week. But if you want to come in and do a clay project, we are glazing. So I have these glazes in lots of different colors. This is sea foam, which is kind of like a blue-green. I have some light green, which is called Granny Smith, so it ends up looking like this, kind of like shiny and green. And then there's black, sky blue, I mean tons and tons of colors. So I think today I'm going to keep it kind of simple, and I'm just going to paint the background. I'm just going to glaze the background. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll probably come in later and do a different color. So I think I'm going to do Granny Smith, this light green. And with glazes, if you guys can take a peek in this bottle here, they dry really quickly because the water kind of absorbs into your cup, into the clay really quickly. And you want to put it on in multiple layers. So this one's a little bit thin, so we're just gonna quickly put on a layer of glaze. Then you let it dry, and then you'll want to put on another layer of glaze. And then these turn out pretty sweet. So This is actually what we are going to be doing here in school next week, because the clay projects here that the 4th graders did last week are still drying. They're not ready to be bisque fired yet. So if you did still want to jump in and do a clay project, there is plenty of time. I'll be running my kiln for probably the next couple weeks. So I am happy to throw yours in there too, so that you guys can join along with us, because I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. But I also understand that you may not have transportation here to school, or like your families might not be available during that time, and that is okay with me as well. I just was thinking about it, and like you guys all know, this is my first time and most teachers' first time ever doing like this remote thing. And so thinking about like, how am I gonna do clay with the kids that are at home? It took me a little bit to realize like, it's not that big of a deal. I can do this. You guys can pick up some clay, or you guys can come in here like one-on-one. And we can do this if you want to do it. If not, if you're like, oh, there's no way my family is gonna be able to do that, no worries. Just do what you can do, and we will move on. No problems there. All right. So with glazing, you just want it to be a nice thick layer. Usually I put on one thick layer, let it dry, and then come back. So I'll come back and do the inside of my mug one more time with that light green, so that it's nice and thick. My sister here that did this project, she did a really great job of doing a nice thick layer of glaze. This project, you guys can see how you can see through it in spots, which is totally fine. That happens a lot with clay. And that's kind of just like another look that you guys can get. So yeah, that is about it. Most of what I wanted to say today is to let you guys know that if you are interested and you're like super bummed out that we're doing clay and you're at home and you can't do it, I want you guys to know you can, if possible, you know, if you're able to come in. If not, don't stress out, don't worry about it. Next year is a new year, right? No worries. And I am here if you need me. If you want me to drop off clay, please let me know. And I did reserve some clay for you guys, so I can put a ball of clay in the office if you want to schedule a time to come in and make some clay projects, or this clay project, not, you know, multiple, but this one. Let me know, and we can work that out together, okay? Alrighty guys, I will talk to you soon.